Today I'm going to be sharing 12 ways to become more attractive as a woman, backed by psychology and science. Now, attractive isn't 100% about aesthetics, right? It's inward just as much as it is outward. So because of that, we're going to be breaking this video into two sections. In the first section, we're going to share 6 ways to become more attractive in your appearance and aesthetic presence. In the second section, we're going to be talking about 6 behaviors, traits, or qualities that make you more attractive. All backed by science. As usual, I link all of my references in the description box. We're well-researched girlies over here. So first we're going to discuss skin, the radiance and the glow behind your skin. So this one is really interesting. Eating vegetables that have a specific pigment. So studies show that eating certain plant pigments can actually improve the appearance of your skin. So your yellow, orange, and red plants. So think butternut squash, orange and yellow bell peppers, carrots, tomatoes, mangoes. Just think about it. When you edit your pictures, how often do you increase the saturation or increase the vibrance just to make it a little bit warmer? Same way when you wear foundation, a lot of people will tend to gravitate towards foundations that have sort of a yellow or red undertone. I'm learning that those warm colors actually make your face more radiant. So now if you're focusing on improving the appearance of your skin, that'll actually make you more radiant, make you glow. So still on the topic of skin, not just only eating certain plants, but just keeping your skin health up, doing your skincare, wearing sunscreen, fighting hyperpigmentation, doing face masks to keep your face plump and hydrated, doing your under eye care. So the second one is smelling nice, especially if it's lavender, vanilla, or just those scents that are super calming and especially feminine. So basically our scents trigger the human olfactory system, so perceived smell, our smelling sense. So if it's a good scent as perceived by others, it then triggers emotional and even biological responses. You simply smelling good puts others in a good mood, even if they don't realize that that's the reason why. And so people just perceive you as more attractive due to how you smell, because you made them feel good in some type of way. There was some sort of sensory nourishment that went on there. Some studies show that the way that you smell directly enhances how your face is perceived by other people. You smelling good makes you prettier to others. Isn't that cool? So the next one is being more feminine. Now, being more feminine, like wearing pink and dresses on its own, doesn't necessarily make us more attractive, but it does enhance our perceived beauty and desirability. So it's in our appearance. Do we look typically feminine? And then it's also in our behaviors, our body language. There are specific cues that signal how warm we are socially. So our femininity matches with deeper social perception patterns that humans typically use when judging one another. That means that people don't just see a pretty face, but they subconsciously process femininity as like part of the whole impression that somebody makes. It's about being more in touch and in tune with your femininity in the way that you express your femininity aesthetically, but also in the way that you behave in typically feminine ways. So for one, studies show that softness in our facial features can make us more attractive, which has nothing to do with changing your bone structure or changing the way that you look, and has everything to do with the expressions that we make. Avoid the furrowed brows, avoid clenching your jaw, just like having like harsh expressions, because they typically just make you look mean. They make you look unapproachable. So what we need to be doing is having more relaxed, gentler expressions, looking nicer, looking warmer and kinder. It's the same thing with makeup. Being softer, girly glam, and avoiding sort of harsh lines and sharp looks. Avoid harsh contour lines. Learn how to blend it out well. Don't use super dark contour for your skin. And also wear blush to bring some warmth and a little bit of depth as well to your face. Just some color, you know, pink, red, and then doing softer lip combos using more natural colors like pinks, reds, browns, nudes, and then avoiding the bold colors like bright pink, bright orange, bright purple or blue, keeping it soft. And 2, it's in our movements and expression. There's a study that found that when people watched videos of women moving, like just, you know, moving around, walking around. The way that they carried themselves was a stronger cue for femininity, softness, openness. And so the ones that sort of carried themselves in a more fluid, you know, like softer, calmer, were perceived to be more attractive because they scored a little bit higher on perceived femininity. So the next one is grooming consistency. How often we groom ourselves and how we keep ourselves up makes us more attractive. Getting rid of body hair, smelling good, hair, nails, our hygiene. Studies indicate that those self-care acts show a stronger signal of health, social competence, because we're girls, we love self-care. Research also says that self-care sometimes matters even more than facial features or expression in perceived attractiveness. It just signals that you're somebody that loves to take care of yourself. You keep yourself up. The studies also show that consistency in grooming is much preferred and makes you more attractive than sort of dramatic changes. If you're consistent with your grooming and not somebody who like is sort of bummy on one day, looks so glam the next day, when you're keeping yourself up consistently, you have a set standard for your appearance. You have sort of like a baseline beauty. So keeping your maintenance up as a love letter to yourself. Also just dressing up cute. Even when there's no special occasion, you are the special occasion. Moving on to the next one, simplicity in how you present yourself. This relates to how you dress and just all the things that you do and wear that contributes to your overall look. When you're never over the top, just always polished, put together, never overdoing your makeup, your accessories, your fashion, makes you come across as secure in yourself and authentic. And I'm not saying be a basic plain Jane. Still be well dressed and well polished without going over the top. The reason that I even brought up simplicity is that it is backed by science. Simplicity is easy on the brain. People rate things as more attractive when they are easier to process. So avoid chasing too many trends, mixing and matching polarizing colors, a green shirt and red pants at the risk of looking like Christmas. Also, simplicity is read as confidence. You're doing this for you. Like your self-concept is so high that your standard of beauty depends on you. I know that I look nice, I know that I look pretty, but I'm not trying hard to be seen. Just prioritizing simplicity and quality. That's all. Now, lastly on this section, wearing clothes that fit you, flatter you, and also complement your complexion. There's a study in social psychology that found that what you wear and how it fits you and how it flatters your shape affects how confident and competent you feel, and other people can also pick up on that. So how often do we see each other wearing a skirt or a dress that's too short, but then you keep pulling it down, or wearing a really tiny top that you have to keep on adjusting, like constantly adjusting because you're uncomfortable, because you know that it's small, you know that it doesn't fit. Same goes for oversized clothing. You may find yourself tugging at the clothes, trying to, you know, make things look good. I would really love for you to know other people notice that, so that also dims your attractiveness a little bit. So when you're wearing the clothes and the clothes are not wearing you, just move better. You're able to move much more confidently. That shows that you are sure of yourself. So find shapes and silhouettes that fit you, but also flatter your body shape. Also make you look put together, that are fitted. Not too big, not too small. Tailoring your clothes where you need to. Secondly, on that part that about wearing clothes that complement your complexion, people tend to look more attractive when their skin looks more radiant and, you know, glowing, even toned. You will find that there's some colors that you wear that just look so nice on you, make you look much more radiant as well. And then there are also those colors that you wear that completely wash you out, make you look like they take the color out of your face. So it's not always about how stylish you look in the outfit, it's about how your skin looks in the outfit. So really opt for clothes that really opt for particularly colors that make you look more radiant. All right, so now let's move on to section 2. 6 behaviors, traits, or qualities that we should be developing to make us more attractive. So number 1 is confidence. As Maddie Perez said, confidence is like 90% of it.
90% of life is confidence. And the thing about confidence is no one knows if it's real or not.
So how do you have more confidence? You trick yourself. You trick yourself until it becomes your reality. I grew up a very, very shy person. I was not able to speak up. I was not able to show up in the way that I am able to show up now. The brain recognizes and responds to repetition in order for something to stick. You want to convince yourself of something, just keep on repeating it to yourself. Keep on repeating it to yourself until it becomes your reality. And that is the truth. You tell yourself constantly, every single day, I'm pretty. You walk around, I am so pretty. It doesn't matter if you have makeup on. It doesn't matter if you have all like the 10-step skincare routine. But a lot of people struggle to have that confidence in themselves. They might have that confidence at home, but they struggle to have it outside. Now, we need to be telling ourselves things in order for them to stick. You walk taller. You don't shrink yourself for anybody. You don't look around looking timid. You don't walk on your phone, afraid of what people will say. You walk tall, not being conceited or cocky, just simply confident. Right? So the next one is being a nice, pleasant, friendly, kind person. Scientists say that being a nice person is universally a very attractive trait. Just being nice, a person who smiles at others, a person who speaks nicely to others, people, whether you know them or not. Do you ever see those girls, like you're just walking by those girls and they just look at you and they just give you that little smile? You almost immediately perceive them as more attractive just because they were nice. Being somebody that compliments people, complimenting them honestly as well. You like that dress that they're wearing? Don't be a hater. Say, hey, that's a beautiful dress. That's a beautiful hairstyle. Oh, I love the way you speak. Somebody walks into the room. Hey, everybody, can I please have some directions? Don't be that one person that just like sits back and lets somebody else answer. Hey, okay, what directions do you need? How are you? How's your day going? They walked into a group of people that they don't know. That makes people nervous on its own. Now, when you sort of disarm people's nerves and help them calm their nerves just by being a nice person, that makes you just all the more pleasant. When you walk into a room of and maybe 3 people, you don't only just greet those 3 people, you say hi to everybody. Now, there will be some people that are weird just for the fact that you were kind, you were polite, you were charming. That makes you a much, much more attractive person. And people easily gravitate towards you when you are a nice person. I'm not saying not a pushover, not a person who lets people walk all over them, but just being a genuinely kind, nice person. Now, the next one is being intelligent and well-read, specifically without being conceited. Be someone who has so much knowledge on so many different multiple things and is able to have stimulating conversations all the time with anybody and everybody. Just knowing different things and being able to have conversation. You're able to educate people on topics that that you've learned about, but with humility. Never to be a know-it-all. There are ways to do it without sounding like an ass that, thinks she knows everything. More of a, did you know this interesting thing? And not a, oh, you didn't know that? How do you not know that? Those are some of the worst people. And you could be the most beautiful person, but if you are a mean, nasty person, for me that immediately makes you ugly. Because what? I don't even care about your looks after that. After that, you just become immediately ugly to me. Because what do you mean you're just a mean, nasty person for no reason? So read books, read articles, watch documentaries, literature, philosophy, psychology, culture, history, just anything and everything. Number 4 is having hobbies, especially if they are intellectual or fitness based, super unique, and you're really into them. Note, I didn't say that you have to be amazing at them. So being a person who has hobbies just indicates that you're a passionate person, you're intelligent, you're interesting, and that you also have higher levels of emotional stability. Number 5 is being a self-validating person. You have a strong self-concept. You acknowledge and accept your own thoughts and ideas as your own and your own worth without waiting for anybody else's stamp of approval. The studies suggest that it shows that you are emotionally intelligent and you have higher emotional stability. When you're a person who is just themselves, you don't try to pretend you're anything or anybody else. You're just you, and you're comfortable with just being you. That authenticity is super attractive. And last but not least, emotionally intelligent and emotionally stable. So it shows that you're a stable person. You are secure. You may have your insecurities, but you don't put them on display. You don't project them onto anybody. They're your own insecurities. Everybody has them, right? You don't project them. You're also perceived as somebody who is trustworthy and can also be a safe space, a person who holds space for other people, just a safe space for others. Emotional intelligence really shapes how you relate with people as well. It helps you to navigate conflict in a healthy, helpful way, and it never becomes toxic or chaotic or nasty. You hold space for other people's feelings, you hold space for other people's, their opinions and whatever it is. But you're also somebody who's able to express your feelings and your opinions in an emotionally mature way. It's not petty, it's not catty, it's just you expressing your feelings, and you respect your boundaries, and as such you also expect, and this also prompts others to respect your boundaries when you are heavily like, these are my boundaries and I'm sticking to them. So there you have it, girls. 12 ways to become more attractive, backed by psychology and science. I hope that this video was helpful, and if it was, then I've done my part. Please return the favor by sticking around, checking out some of my other videos, hitting the subscribe button. Let us grow together and let us chat in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one.